In the early days of American football, one single play pushed the sport to the edge of extinction. No helmets, no pads, no mercy. It was called the Flying Wedge, and it turned football fields into graveyards. In the late 1800s, American football barely resembled the game we know today. It borrowed rules from rugby, from soccer, from street brawls. There was no governing body, no unified rule book. Each school played its own version. Violence wasn't accidental. It was encouraged. Football became a proving ground for elite colleges. Yale, Harvard, Princeton. Winning was about dominance. Pain was proof of character. Players were students, teenagers, many weighing under 170 pounds. Uniforms were wool. Helmets were optional leather caps. Most players wore nothing at all. Broken noses were routine. Concussions were unnamed. Spinal injuries went untreated. If you could stand, you kept playing. In 1892, Yale introduced a formation meant to overwhelm defenses. Players linked arms tightly, forming a V. The ball carrier stood at the back, protected by mass and momentum. It wasn't strategy, it was physics. At the snap, the wedge charged forward. Every player pushing at once! Defenders had seconds to react. When the collision came, it was catastrophic. Bodies slammed together. Heads snapped back. Some players never stood up again. Players lost consciousness on the field. Ribs shattered. Internal bleeding went unnoticed. Doctors were rarely present. Ambulances didn't exist. Teammates dragged the injured aside, and the game continued. By 1905, the violence was impossible to ignore. At least 19 confirmed football deaths, more than 130 serious injuries nationwide, most linked to mass formations, especially the Flying Wedge. Some schools canceled seasons, others refused to change. Parents begged schools to stop. Newspapers printed death notices beside game scores. Young men buried before graduation. Dreams ended on muddy fields. One headline called, "Football Legalized Murder." President Theodore Roosevelt loved football, but feared it would be banned nationwide. In 1905, he summoned college leaders to the White House. He demanded reform. Change the game, or lose it forever. Mass formations were outlawed. The Flying Wedge was banned. New rules created space, reduced momentum. Forward passing followed soon after. Football survived by transforming today's helmets, rules, safety protocols. All exist because of this era. Every reform traces back to those deaths, to the Flying Wedge. The Flying Wedge is gone, but its shadow remains. Modern football was built on sacrifice, and blood paid the price. Follow for more true dark sports history.